to Hoops and Horses for Saturday, December the 14th, 2024. I'm CC Broaddus. I'm joined by the leader of the FBG Nation, FatBallGuyRacing.com. That's Dan Cronin. Say hello, Dan.
How you guys doing?
Looks like Dan's in the parking lot at Churchill Downs from the looks of things. I assume you're going to spend the night there?
Yeah. They should
right.
get free room, all the money I bet there.
Okay. All right. Then on the bottom here is pharmacist to the stars, Trey Server. Hello, Trey.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well. All right, guys. I want to remind everybody to like and subscribe to our videos. You can find our videos on YouTube, of course, and leave a comment below. Tell us who you like this weekend. All right. Before we get to the action, let's go to a break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Hoops and Horses for Saturday, December 14th. Let's take a look at the weather for this weekend. Of course, Gulfstream, always warm there, 79 degrees, partly sunny, with a slight chance of rain. So keep an eye on the skies there. Of course, always a chance for a rain off down there in Florida, it seems like. Of course, Oaklawn, 57 degrees and cloudy, not a bad day. Morning showers, so there is a slight chance that the track could be off. And then Turfway, 52 with a chance of rain and drizzle. Not a bad night at Turfway Park, it seems. Maybe another heat wave here. So looking forward to a big day at Turfway Park. Also at Gulfstream Park, Tropical Park Oaks, Tropical Park Derby. Quite a pick 5 sequence to cap off that day. Looking forward to playing that, I think. And let's go to Gulfstream right now. Dan's going to lead off, and he likes a horse in this maiden special weight in race number 7. Dan, let's start with your pick in race number 7.
Yeah, and we don't know what the odds are because they won't put them out unless they just came in before we recorded. But I'm assuming he'll be somewhere in a 2-1, 5-2 area. Majorca, I guess it's pronounced Majorca. I don't know. But I know this horse really worked well the other day. Just ears pricked. He's got a nice engine behind. Just dusted his workmate. I think this horse is going to run really big. So I'm going ahead and singling in the late pick 5. And then that way I can spread like mad. And if he gets beat, he gets beat. But there's not a lot in there. And it's a Pletcher. We're getting, the best rider in the planet. And, he cranks them first time out. So we'll see how good. But, Pletcher said his 2-year-old's got to get moving. So we'll see if this one does.
Yeah, really, Pletcher doesn't have a lot in the way of I don't think he had a starter in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, if I'm remembering correctly. This horse, he always cranks up a few good 2-year-olds though at Gulfstream, and I would think that Majorca is going to take a lot of beating, and that's that first leg of that late pick 5. So very important that we get this one right, of course. And Majorca is the one that Dan likes the most. Now we're going to fast forward to race number 9, and this is another maiden special weight. And Trey's got a horse here. I'm interested to hear what Trey has to say about this. We've been bantering about this already, and Trey likes maybe a potential upsetter from the same barn, though. Keep in mind.
Yeah, so I like number 4, Freaky. Let me preface this by saying that if this horse happens to be 3, 4, 5-1, I don't like him as much. Obviously, we don't know the morning line yet. The one is Brad Cox stuck on the rail. The other Pletcher is on the far outside. This horse has had 2 runs so far and hasn't been very impressive, but had a very good work last out. And the horse is huge. And this is going to be a 1-turn mile. And Johnny Velasquez is going to jump on, blinkers on. I'm hoping if he can get out of the gate with his long stride, he doesn't have to worry about those tight turns. and maybe get to the front and just keep on going. So we'll see what happens there.
All right, guys. Freaky didn't have the best of starts at Keeneland in his last start. Kind of was broke flat-footed and then kind of shuffled back. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what Freaky can do, and I think that would be a potential upsetter in my book, as a horse that looks terrible on paper. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what Freaky can do. That's race 9 on Saturday at Gulfstream. All right, guys, let's go now to Hot Springs, Arkansas. We're going to talk about Oaklawn and another maiden special weight here in race number 7. Trey's got a horse he likes here in race 7. Let's talk about this maiden, Trey.
Yeah, so this horse is going to be number 2, El Prestigio. This is the Asmussen tandem. This horse, if you look, has finished 3rd in his last 3. He ran first against Ferocious, second against Mitty Diddy's Party for Brad Cox, and then last against Donut Hole, who was a well-touted firster. And he ran a winning race in all 3. I don't see anybody in this race, hopefully, that's as talented. If they can get him out of the gate like they've done and let him just get his feet under him, I think this should be a winner today.
Hold on, Trey. Hold on. The air raid siren is off. You know what that means? It can only mean one thing.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Hold on, let me bring it up and I'll show you. We move it at the speed of a snail here. It's the CC Broaddus Mind Bender of the Week on Horses and Hoops.
All right, let's hear it.
And that's where we're at right now. I see your favorite, El Prestigio, and I raise you to a 10-to-1 shot. And his name is Broaddus, not named after me. But let's take a look at Broaddus.
All right, let's see it.
10-to-1 morning line. His horse is a half brother to Conquest Warrior, son of City of Light, who was on the Triple Crown Trail briefly last spring for Shug McGahee. And this is a Mark Cassey trainee. Mark Cassey trainees yield a flat bet profit. For every $2 you wager, you get a profit, a positive return on your investment. And Broaddus faced a whole lot better in his debut. Dan, I know you remember, you like the horse in that race he comes out of, and the Sherry DeVoe horse, but the Jose D'Angelo horse went wire to wire, and yeah, it was a really nice field. Broaddus showed a little bit of speed in that race, but he faded and he finished 6th. I like this horse coming back. So we've got dueling selections here between me and Trey. Maybe we'll battle this over a milkshake or something somewhere down the road. Okay.
I can say I'm already going to owe you something. So let's go ahead and make the bet.
All right. You got me straight tripping, boo. All right. That's enough of Oaklawn now. Let's go on to whatever's next. All right. So we've got Gulfstream and Oaklawn out of the way. Let's go to Turfway and a really nice card on Saturday evening. And it's the Turfway Park Synthetic Championships. They got 4 $250,000 races. It's going to be race 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that's a pick 4 sequence. And nearly full fields for all of the races. I think the My Charmer race 4 came up with 11. But the other 3 have at least 12, I think, and then with some also eligible. So it's going to be a great card. And if you like Turfway at all, you need to get in on this action, because it's going to be a fantastic night of racing. So we're going to kick it off. Trey likes a horse in race number 5, and then we're going to work our way down. We've got 2 more after that. So, all right, Trey, tell us about your selection here in race 5, the second of the 4 stakes races.
Yeah, so I'm going to the far outside. When I made this selection, I didn't have the morning line, so I think he's 12-to-1. It's a really tough field. Miss Moonpie, 15-to-1, even better. Miss Moonpie is in this race, and she's 4 for 4 at the distance. This horse is coming from Woodbine. Kevin Attard chips in. Lon Machado's going to ride. The horse likes to come off the pace, and if we can get that slingshot around the far turn from this horse, I don't see any reason why he couldn't be or she couldn't be right there on the wire. Like I said, you might have to beat some tough competition in there, but at 15-1, I'm going to give it a shot.
All right. You know, at the very worst, that's a type of horse that you could key underneath in exotics. If you like another horse, maybe a shorter price horse that you don't see a way you can beat, this is the type of horse that spices up the exotics.
Yes.
All right. Now let's go to this seventh race. This may be the best race of the whole weekend at Turfway. This is the sprint, the 6 furlong race. And Dan has a familiar face in here. Let's talk about your pick in race number 7.
Yeah, I love this horse. I'm praying we get 6-1, but I know the second choice in there, the 12, is scratched. So, you know, I love to bet against even money shots on the rail at Turfway. So the horse on the rail is going to be even money. So as soon as I saw that, I knew I had to find somebody. And One Timer's a horse I've bet on multiple times in his career. I know this horse a lot. I know he loves the synthetic. He doesn't get on it enough. He hasn't been on it since 2022, it looks like. But he's 3 for 3 life. And I'm convinced that at Kentucky Downs, when I bet on him, that rider Loveberry did everything humanly possible to not win and to save the horse for that turf sprint grade 2, because he never let that horse run an inch and he got beat ahead. Never hit him, never pumped him, never drove him, and did everything humanly possible to save him for a week later. And then he's running against Cogburn, the best turf sprinter in the world. So why on earth would, you take anything away from him for that? Then he goes into the Woodford and draws the rail in a 12 horse field and gets dead left in the gate, like everybody does in the rail at Keeneland. So he only got beat 2 lengths. They've laid him up for 3 months getting ready for this. I think One Timer, perfect post in the 8 hole. The competition's in the 1. The other horse with a chance is in the 3. 5 or 6-1 is a wonderful price. Ravelli's on fire right now. E.T. Baird, I really believe that if E.T. Baird lets this horse go when they open the gate, he'll be in front. Now, the last few races, they haven't let him do that, and that's okay at Turfway. You can stalk second or third, go into the lead, and still win. But from that outside post, I love it. I love the 8 hole. I can't wait to bet on this horse at 5 or 6-1.
Yeah, Ravelli is on fire, no doubt about it. At one point, he was 9 out of 10, and yeah, so this horse always seems to run his race. So yeah, he's going to take some beating. I think you might get a decent price on this horse too, because there's some other contenders in here.
Oh yeah, it's a tough race. That's why I think we'll get 5 or 6-1, because they're going to bet the normal player that's playing Saturday night doesn't always play Turfway. They're playing because of these stakes races, and I'm telling you, they're not going to know how bad the 1 hole is. They're going to make that horse even money.
Yeah. All right, I'm all for it. That'd be a nice horse to end that all stakes pick 4 with. And then we've got one last race at Turfway, the 9th race, the finale. It's the end of the late pick 5, late pick 4. And Dan also has a horse in here that he likes. Tell us about your pick in race number 9.
Yeah, Father Dalton's the kind of horse I like. 1 start horse in a race that's not that much. There's not a whole lot in here. Mike Maker's not having a great meet. He's been struggling for 3 or 4 months, but the horse is dropping in class, getting Lasix for the first time, and we get Saez. And Saez, every time he comes to Turfway, he puts on a show. So I know if he's coming, he knows these horses are live, or he wouldn't be coming. He's got the 4 stakes races, and he's going to stick around for this one at 10 o'clock at night. Why would he do that if he doesn't know this horse is alive? So I think this horse is very live in here. First time out, he ran just even, but he lost to a horse that's a nice horse, at Belmont. Got beat 4 lengths. I think he ran 5th. And, for a first start, that's not bad. Maker doesn't usually win first time out. They went 45 and change, 109 and change. I mean, I think he's going to sit third or fourth and he's going to blast home. And again, 4-1 is a perfect price for me for singles, for bets. I'll take that all night long.
All right. There you go. That concludes the horse racing part of our show. Now let's go on to college basketball. Dan's got a couple more selections here that he wants to talk about. And first, let's talk about the Battle of the Bluegrass, the University of Louisville versus the University of Kentucky. And all right, take it away.
Yeah, we're hoping that the spread's somewhere around 11, maybe 12. If it gets up into the 20 area, then it changes everything. But Louisville's beat up. They are just beat up. They got 3 players not playing. Their best inside players out for the year, probably their best guard or second best guards out for the year. They're not going to be able to hang with Kentucky. Kentucky's going to win. I'm predicting 90-70, somewhere in there. I mean, I love Pat Kelsey, but he just doesn't have the guns this year with these guys hurt. And the game's at Kentucky. Kentucky and Louisville both played bad the other night because they're both looking towards Saturday. I think UK is going to come out on fire and they're going to blitz Louisville. So anything under probably 15 or 16, I'm still going to bet on Kentucky.
What about if the game is close? Let's say it's 3 points at halftime. How about a second half wager of beating the spread on Kentucky? And because
Kentucky minus 20.
Well, just the legs of Louisville are going to be gone by about the 10-minute mark in the second half, I would guess. The way that things have been going as of late, maybe just a second half wager on Kentucky if the game is close at halftime.
I mean, I could see that. I love betting in-game bets. That's one of my favorite things to do, and it stinks that I can't put it on the sheet because it's impossible to put it on the sheet if you're betting 5 minutes into the game. But one of my favorite things to do, like say the spread comes out 16, and I'm like, that's a little much for me, and the game starts out and it's 8-2 Louisville. Well, that spread's going to go to about 12. That's just how they do it. If Louisville would start out and it's 20-20, the spread's going to drop 4 or 5 points. And
Right.
you can then bet then and get, hope that they make their run. Like you just said, they're going to lose their legs. Kentucky's going to run away from them. And, those are the kind of bets you can make for sure. I love doing that. I would definitely, if it stays close at half, I would press my bet in the second half on Kentucky.
All right. Now let's go to our second of 3 games here. And we want to talk about, this is a whale of a game. Unfortunately, I'm going to be on Turfway a lot, but this is a good game between Tennessee and Illinois. And am I reading this right? You like Illinois?
Yeah, I think they're going to make the wrong team favorite. They're going to make Tennessee favorite, I think. And I think Illinois should be a 1 or 2 point favorite. They're on their home floor. They don't lose there. It's sold out. They're going to be going crazy. Tennessee's going into a hornet's nest. Tennessee's good. Don't get me wrong. They're good. And the SEC's been great so far this year, but they haven't played a true road game at a top 20 team. And Illinois has already proven the last 2 games that they're better than we thought. They won at Northwestern, which I understand it's Northwestern, but they still win home games. And Illinois went up there and won. And then they beat Wisconsin. So, I mean, they've already got 2 straight good wins. They're back home. That crowd's going to be going nuts. I think Illinois is going to win the game. I think they're going to upset them. And if I get points, I'm just going to bet more.
All right. Good enough. All right. One more game. What's this game called now? The Cincinnati at Xavier. Is this a crosstown? It's not the crosstown shootout anymore. Crosstown something.
Yeah, it's
right?
back to that again. They took it away trying to be PC for a while, but now it's back to the crosstown shootout. I'm thinking Cincinnati's going to be somewhere in that 6 to 8.5 area. And if it's a little bit lower than that, I'm going to bet on Cincinnati. But I'm telling everybody, if that spread gets up into the 8.5 to 10 area, bet on Xavier. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a tight game. And Cincinnati has had the worst luck against Xavier over the last 20 years. Just the weirdest stuff happens in this game because it's such a big rivalry. It's a 2 in the afternoon game. The last 3 or 4 times they've played at Cincinnati, some reserve guard that averages 2 points a game will come in and go 4 for 4 from the 3-point line. It happens every time, and everybody at Cincinnati just looks at each other and go, here we go again. Some kid we don't even know, not even on the scouting report, comes off the bench and gets 12 points in the first half. So don't be surprised if this game isn't 65-65 with 7-8 minutes to play, and Cincinnati's going to have to pull away and win. And I think they will, because I think they're better than Xavier, and I think Xavier's a little banged up, but it ain't going to be a 15 or 20 point game.
This game is at Fifth Third Arena. That's downtown, right? Downtown next to.
No, it's on campus.
That's on campus.
Yep.
Okay, that's what they used to be called, the Shoemaker Center.
Correct.
Okay, all right, good deal.
And as I call it, the house that Mick rebuilt.
Okay. What's the arena downtown? What's that called?
It's now called the Heritage Bank Center.
Who plays there, or does anybody play there?
Nobody. The Cyclones.
The hockey team?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's all I've got. Now, Trey, you got anything you want to add? I know you've got a couple basketball plays you want to toss in too.
Yeah, so going back to the Kentucky game, Kobe Bray is going to hit at least 4 3-pointers. You got Gonzaga against UConn, which is another good game. That game is going to be a shootout. That's going over. And Auburn plays. They got a good team as well, and I can't remember now. But Johnny Broom or Janai Broom, he's going to get a double-double. So if you want to parlay those 3 player props and over.
Auburn plays Ohio State on a neutral court.
Okay, yeah, he's going to feast because maybe Aaron Bradshaw comes back. I don't know if he's back yet for them, but yeah, he's going to get a double-double.
All right, sounds good. Well, good luck to you, whoever you play. If you decide to fade us or if you decide to go with us, either way, just good luck to you. Hope to see you next week on Hoops and Horses. I'm signing off on behalf of Dan Cronin of FatBallGuyRacing.com and Trey Server, the pharmacist to the stars. Gambling money ain't got no home.